Hi, everyone. So, everyone, hey, my name is Frank Amodeo. I'm here with Pete Panzerotti. I can't pronounce your last name. And Joe Dusepo
Nobody
will be
can.
joining
Nobody can. Don't worry.
us. I should have
Don't worry
should have
about that.
practiced this. But Pete's a good guy.
Panzerotti. Panzerotti. That's Pete Panzerotti from the wonderful, beautiful, unincorporated hamlet of Clearwater, Illinois, just outside Chicago, which is the most beautiful place in the world. And there's nothing better than having some Chicago-style foods in Chicago, and that's what I guarantee.
Excellent. That's great. I own a couple businesses in
Even
Chicago.
this water is from Lake Michigan, straight out of the lake.
Excellent.
It's right. Only the good stuff for this boy, good old Chicago boy here.
Sounds good.
So
Some
who's this
Chicago
Frank guy? I
people.
don't know you. I know
Oh,
Joe. I don't know
okay.
Frank. Who's Frank?
Hey,
You got to
Marilyn.
introduce
Well,
yourself
Frank.
to me.
Okay. Thank you. I will, because I want to talk. Hopefully, we'll be able to talk about my factual innocence later. But my name is Frank Amadeo. I'm a disbarred attorney, and I did some time in federal prison, even though I'm factually innocent of any and all crimes. I was accused of some tax crimes, but
Yep.
basically, long story short, I'll give you the 30-second version, folks. The IRS is alleging that I took their money and didn't report it. Basically, the
Oh,
IRS knew about this. I was the IRS's partner. Do you think if you know now if anyone thinks that Frank would be dishonest, that's just not true, folks. Um, you know, everything I do is true, and they're just mad that I was being successful. And whenever someone's successful, people want to tear you down, folks.
I couldn't have agreed with you more. You said the word prisons, and then you said the word IRS, and I have to tell you, I think we're going to become good friends, Frank. I
Oh,
mean, to
excellent!
tell you
Maybe we
the
can get
truth,
some joint.
I don't know when taxes are due. Okay. They told me April 15 in the United States of America. I went exactly 57 years of my life not knowing that until just a few years ago, by the way. That's how old I am. They don't teach you this in school. They don't teach you this in church. They don't teach you this at the community centers when you're going to play basketball or anything. You know what I mean? They don't inform you. So apparently I got a lot of back taxes. So if you hate the IRS, I hate the IRS. We're gonna have a good friendship.
I
That's all
agree.
I
I
got to say
agree.
on that, because otherwise I got a lot of pending lawsuits on my hands. Always with the lawsuits.
I was always advised that the April 15th was just a guideline, and
I
now they're
just thought
trying
it
to
was a
pull back.
I just thought it was a day in the middle of April, you
Right?
know?
Exactly.
They pay
And
your taxes. Come on.
and
It's been around for
there
200 years, apparently. Apparently, the founding fathers put this one together or something. I don't know any histories.
and in my
Disgusting.
case, yep, I agree, Pete. In my case, I made arrangements to pay the IRS back. We were making our scheduled payments, and they got greedy. They wanted the whole thing, and
Of course.
yep.
Once they get a little couple dollars in their pockets, they want more, you know?
They were just mad because I was a peacekeeper in the Congo, and I was using a lot of the money, and for those reasons. And all of a sudden,
Of
and
course.
they got upset about it.
And the Congo, by the way, was probably more peaceful when you were there. When you left, all hell broke loose. I can guarantee that.
Absolutely, we were peacekeepers. They took and
Of
they took
course.
my men. They took my men. They hold them hostage for 9 days. We had to try to get them out. They didn't want to release them. They
It's a
threatened
long
they were
time.
going to kill them and or unalive them. And it was a big production to get them out. It took us 9 days. We had to put a lot of heat on their government, and
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
usually it takes 6 months. But I had some top level guys working on this, and it took 9 days, and we got them out.
Well, I know a guy who knows a guy. So next time you need a hostage or crisis management negotiator, come to me's because I got a good one. Okay, the guy is from Belize of all places. He's a wonderful human being. I don't remember his name, but he's a friend of a friend. And so the next time you go over there, my Belize friend will come over there, and I guarantee within 24 hours, all the hostages will be negotiated. You know what I mean?
Well, maybe we could team up on some projects because my main thing,
Well, for
I worked
sure.
on this. I worked on this my unfinished PhD when I was in. I didn't
Okay.
finish it, but it was called Capital Genesis, folks, and it's basically a
Uh-huh.
series of companies that give favorable contracts to each other in order to now see the more companies you have. If I have 70 companies, you have 70 companies, we're giving each other favorable contracts, we'll eventually be able to take over the world. Okay,
I mean,
and
that
now we
makes
won't
sense
need
to
the
this
IRS.
guy.
We won't need the IRS, folks. We won't need NATO. Okay, and we'll be able to take over the world, folks. We'll start with
Yeah,
the
who needs
Congo here.
NATO?
That's right.
Frickin' Sweden here and Finland trying to join NATO. Who needs it? I
Joe
mean, the last
agrees.
time I read a book, it told me that the Cold War ended in 1992 or one or whatever the heck it ended. Why do we
That's
still
right.
have to have it? Doesn't make any sense. And now the Swedes and the Finns are jumping on board. Come on,
And folks, for
jeez.
anyone listening at home, you can research all this on Lexus and Lexus. If you have time, you read the articles. But folks, so this is like sharing, folks. You go to the library, you get a book. You return that book, and somebody else gets the book. It's sharing, folks.
Yeah,
If anyone's against sharing, you lost my vote, folks.
sharing. Yes, it's just as long as you're not sharing with the IRS or any other federal, government organization, then it's sharing. But that's all I have to say. I don't like bank taxes. I got to tell you,
I agree. We're going to be doing
they
away
don't
with the IRS.
listen. I have no employees on my restaurant. I run it myself, and yet I still got to pay corporate taxes. I'm not even a corporation. It's just gouging me from my monies.
I
Jeez. I mean,
agree.
I have to I have to make at least 24 to 34, all beef Chicago beef sandwiches every day just to stay afloat. That's not even including my overhead and my deep dish pizzas and my Chicago sausage sandwiches. I got to make hundreds of those every day to keep afloat. And then the government comes in, they take my monies, okay, that I earn 40%, sometimes 50%. And then there's the corporate tax, there's the inheritance tax, there's the Homer tax, there's the bear tax. That's a Simpsons reference for you people out there. There's the homeowners tax, there's the capital gains tax, there's the tax when you lose money. I'm getting taxed. I'm getting taxed from places I don't even know and understand. And then for some reason, I got other governments trying to tax me. I got St. Vincent trying to tax me. I got the Vatican City trying to tax me. Disgusting.
I
That's
agree
all
with
I'm
Pete.
saying.
I agree.
some guy from Prussia was trying to tax me the other day. Prussia. I didn't think that would even existed for 100 years. Apparently they got an embassy in Chicago and now I have to give them money.
The people
Awful,
at
I
home
tells you.
agree with you and me. And this is what we're this is what's
I
going to happen,
always agree
folks.
with myself
That's that,
every time.
absolutely. And this is what we're talking
So
about,
what's
folks. It's
this?
gonna be
What's
less
this?
confusing. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
So Frank, I want to know about this project in Congo. I'm looking to expand my portfolio into some, let's just say, maybe highly questionable investments. And I
Absolutely.
hear that in Congo they have a lot of cobalt. I have no idea what that is. Apparently, it's on the periodic table or something. It's just one of those things. It's like a metal or some crap, but they put it inside the phones of cell phones, and it makes it work. And so I know that there's a lot of cheap cobalt and labor in Congo, which we can exploit. I'm not saying we should do it. I'm saying if you wanted to do it, there would be an opportunity. I got the paperwork. And,
Yeah.
I'm just saying cobalt. That's going to be one of my diverse investment portfolios. But I'm interested, Frank. What exactly is it about Congo? I mean, listen, I read Heart of Darkness a long time ago. Didn't seem like a very good place to me. But if you're telling me, go to Congo, and also Congo was a terrible movie from the 1990s in which Tim Curry has a horrible Romanian accent. Again, all besides the point that has nothing to do with what we're talking about now. But what I want to know from you, is Frank, is what exactly is in the Congo, except for those silverback gorillas and the Heart of Darkness, the Kurtz guy, him. What's there? What's in the
Well, that's a
Congo? What,
great.
what what's for me in the Congo?
That's a great question, Pete. It sounds like
Thank
we're going
you.
to definitely be able to team up because, like you said,
Well,
I don't
you're
know what's
welcome.
involved in these minerals. All I know is there's over $24 trillion in precious minerals that, like you said, we can exploit. Now, I have several companies that are in tactical
Exploit
special
for
investigations.
legal
Yep,
purposes.
yep, yep. Allegedly exploit. Am I right, Joe?
Thank you
And
so much.
yep, and
Thank you.
if we team up, if I have 70 companies and you have 70 companies, it's like 140
Uh-huh.
companies, and we'll have private military companies with a minimum of 10,000 people on each of our teams. And we'll put a little pressure on them if they don't agree with us, and you know, success is the only option in that case. And then we'll
I'll,
just keep going all the way through Africa afterwards.
I just have one question though. If I find one of those silver gorillas from the movie Congo, can I take him home with me? Because they were very special gorillas that guarded a jewel. So if I find the jewel and I find the gorilla, can I take him home? Do you have paperwork that I can get him across the border back to my farm in Chicago?
Well, you could definitely
I'm
take
just
him
letting you
home,
know.
and as you know, since we're single
Okay.
successful guys and powerful, we don't need paperwork. Whatever we says go. And if anyone has any disagreements, we'll have we'll have our teams of tactical and our militias. They'll back down immediately, folks.
Okay, well, I do. I can forge a vaccination record for the gorilla. That might help. You know, I mean, having a gorilla come from one environment to the other environment, he might need to have vaccinations. I can forge that one, but I really can't forge the really serious type stuff. The animal people are always after me. When I got an ocelot over here, I got an ocelot farm, I got an emu farm. They took them all away, every single one. I didn't have the papers. It was a criminal negligence, whatever other highly class terms they had, for me and for my use of these farms. But the animal people took them away. I don't want the animal people to take away my silverback gorilla because they're very very special. They were guarding the jewel, okay, and that jewel was very important in Congo. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie. It's a true movie, true story, by the way,
Okay.
100% nonfiction. So I'm just saying, you know,
Well, it sounds
that's all.
like if anyone tries anything, they're gonna have to deal with me, Frank Amodeo, too. And I don't think
Okay,
they're gonna
all
like
right.
that. So, I wouldn't over stress that. We'll start with the Congo. We'll work our way all the way through Europe, and then we'll start taking over Europe too.
Yes, because Congo and Europe are very close to each other
Yeah.
geographically. Yes, I was thinking maybe if we go to Congo, then we stay in the Congo, and maybe we go to the neighboring countries. But listen, you said we take the Congo, then we take Europe because it's very close. I'm all there.
In between that too, I also have my eye on both Australia and the North Pole.
Hmm.
A lot
Hmm.
of natural resources there.
Why don't we take Siam?
Okay.
Why don't we take Prussia? Why don't we take New Spain? You know what I'm
Well, we
saying?
have
Why don't
enough.
we take
We have
why don't
enough.
we take
Yep.
Upper and Lower Canada? I mean,
Yep.
if we're gonna stop there, why don't we go to the USSR, right?
True. Absolutely. There's a lot of
These
resources
places
there.
still exist
Yep.
on my map.
Joe agrees. Yep.
Again, okay, great. We can go to all the countries.
Yep.
We can go to Prussia. We can go to Siam. We can go to Austria, Hungary. Here it's nice there in the winter. Anyway, all good.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Yep. The only option is success.
I agree with you. So basically, what's in the Congo is just resources, right? Basically, what
That's
kind of
that's
resource? I know they got gold there.
yeah. Like I said, gold, silver. I believe they
Hmm.
have coal. From my people, according to the information I received and from reports I've
Uh-huh.
gathered, there is over $24 trillion in natural resources that we can mine, and that's likely
That is
enough.
an accurate figure.
Okay,
That figure is very accurate.
and
Hmm.
we're doing them a favor,
So they
folks.
got the cobalt there. They got diamonds there. They got cobalt. They
Yep,
got probably gasoline, probably rubber. I don't know. I'm sure we could get some radium there and some bronze, some silver and gold. You know what I
yep,
mean? Copper, nickel, dime. That kind of stuff. I'm just
absolutely,
basically reading a list of the periodic table, but I'm sure they have at least half of the table there in the Congo, right? Like
absolutely,
what do they call it? Borium. You know, that's a thing. I think. I don't know. Radium, borium. Am I wrong here? Did I? I mean, I did fail chemistry,
no, I think you're
but
right. If you
okay,
say it, if
radion.
you're on my team, you're right. If anyone
Okay,
disagrees,
well,
they will deal with Frank Amodeo, folks, and I don't know if they want to do
Well,
that.
guess what? I'm gonna open a borium mine in Congo, and we're gonna find some borium. I don't know if that exists, but it will when I'm done with it.
Hey, look, we have the Mad. Oh, everyone's great in the chat. We have the legendary Mr. Matt Cox in
Matt
the chat. He's
Cox.
a personal friend of mine, folks.
Matt
He's
Cox. This is
Matt Cox.
hilarious. Thank you, Matt.
He's a great guy. Everyone should subscribe to Matt Cox's true crime stories, folks.
Oh, true
And
crime.
I helped Matt get out of jail early, folks. I am a disbarred attorney. All right. And
emphasis on the disbar, of course.
well, it's because the government, which I disagree with.
Yep.
Always
them. Goddamn government and their ethics,
Yeah. Well,
and their
we're taking
morals,
over, so,
and their licensing. Don't defraud the public. I'll defraud whomever I want. Okay.
That's right.
Government.
That's right. If
I want to launder money, I'll launder money. Okay. You don't need to know how many
rewriting-
nail salons this guy owns. Okay.
We're rewriting the laws and the
laundromats.
rules. We're doing away with the IRS
restaurants.
and any and all attorneys.
There was a Simpsons episode where a guy named Lionel Hutz imagined what it would be like a world without lawyers. That world was world peace.
That's the only option.
And I believe everything the Simpsons has ever taught me.
We're doing it for their own
world
good,
peace.
folks.
Yeah.
Yep. Matt agrees.
Never. I like lawyers when they help me. I don't like lawyers when they don't help me. Put it that way.
Well, I mean, that's why they have cliffs, folks. You know what I mean? If they refuse to do their jobs, I'm not saying there's gonna be that, but I mean, you have to listen to and obey Frank Amodeo. Anyone that disagrees is guilty of crimes and high crimes.
And misdemeanors. Don't forget the misdemeanors.
I'm excited that Pete will be my capital partner.
I will be both a silent and a loud investor. I prefer being a loud investor, but I also can be silent if I want. It's a little more tricky for me to be silent because I talk a lot, especially in my accent. But if you want me to be a loud investor, I'll be the loud investor. I will hand out pamphlets on the beautiful streets of Clearwater, Illinois.
That's fine with me. As you know, no one's allowed to disagree.
Well, that's fine by me.
That's great.
As long as we're making money. Even if that money is from the Congo,
Yeah.
As long as we're making their currencies, what do I care,
And
we really haven't heard from Joe. I think we got to heard from Joe. It's like we've been like 77 minutes inside the stream, and Joe hasn't said anything.
There we go.
Hello. Sorry, I don't really know what to say.
My problem.
I'm spending a lot of time laughing here, so I don't really. That's why I'm muted because I
don't know why. This is serious stuff, Joe.
Very serious stuff
I would
about
say
Congo.
You started off saying that you know me. I don't think you do know me.
Do we? I thought I knew you.
I don't think you know me at all.
Does Pete know you? Maybe Pete is having a memory lapse, but I know a lot of people named Joe. That's probably the thing. There's a lot of Joes in Chicago. A lot of Italian boys named Joe in Chicago, so that could be the thing. Maybe I was confusing you with someone I did Little League with when I was 5. I don't know. Who knows?
So,
want to introduce
tell me
yourself,
more
Joe?
tell me more about the Congo, Leopold. Sorry, I mean Pete Panzerotti.
I don't know who that Leo is. I don't know him at all. Leopold I of Belgium. No idea.
Yeah, no idea.
No, don't know him. Never heard of him, even though I know some of his backstory. So the thing about the Congo is it's right in the middle of Africa, and it's hot. And it's a big place. They got one of them cities there. What the heck is it called again? I don't even remember. And, it's a big place. And the Belgians had it. And I think Belgium is 800 times smaller than Congo. So it was really, really weird to have this tiny country have a big country, and this guy, Leo, that guy was a little controversial. If you were in Belgium, he was a great king. Well, if you were Belgium, Leo was your homeboy. But if you were, from the Congo, Leo was, the devil himself. And what's interesting
A bit
about it
handy.
actually is, yes, um, there was a movie a couple years ago, the Tarzan movie with what's his face and Margot Robbie, and actually that takes place in the Congo during the Belgian colonialism, and I learned a lot. For example, I learned how beautiful Margot Robbie was. I never knew that before. So I learned that, and then I learned that Christoph Waltz, that man, who's German, he can do a pretty good convincing Belgian accent. And then there was also Samuel L.
Hi,
Jackson.
Frank.
Why would an African American man be in the Belgium? It doesn't matter. Yeah, who cares? He didn't even have an African accent. If he had an African accent, it makes sense. He's a local. I don't know why he was there. And then the Tarzan guy, I learned he liked animals. That was about all. But oh, and also crocodiles. There was a lot of crocodiles in that movie. They did a lot with crocodiles, and also also wildebeests. There was a whole wildebeest scene. So I learned that. You know,
So is Congo in Florida then, with all the alligators, crocodiles?
well, alligators have a thin snout, and the crocs have the big fat ones. And so alligators are in the Florida, or in clear water. You can go see alligators, but they're on crocodiles are in the Africa. And so, you don't go swimming in any rivers in Africa because you'll get eaten by crocodiles, and you don't swim in Florida because you'll get eaten by the alligators. Which doesn't seem very good to me. I don't know about that. But I'll just say we don't have any of that in Clearwaters. That's Clearwater,
Well,
Illinois.
uh,
Especially in Lake Michigan, there are no, reptilian carnivores in Lake Michigan, so you can swim there. You might get a disease or something from the dirt and the filth and the pollution, but you're not going to get eaten by reptiles. That's a guarantee. Um, but yeah, Congo. So Congo is a big place, and there's a lot of natural resources to be exploited. I mean, to be invested in, and
yeah. And we're doing
if
people a
you
favor,
enjoy,
folks. We're doing people a favor. We're keeping the
yeah.
peace.
I see a McDonald's going in there soon. I see a Burger King. I see a Quiznos. I see a Popeye's chicken place. I see what is that called? Nando's. I see franchise opportunities is what I'm telling you. There's like 800 million people who live there. So, give or take maybe 2 million. But
So,
there's a lot of people there and there's a lot of investment opportunities. If you like diamond, who doesn't like diamonds, first of
yep.
all? And there's a
For
lot of
anyone that,
diamonds there.
yep. For anyone that hasn't seen it,
So,
Matt Cox on his channel Inside TrueCom does have the story, the documentation of my attempt when we did try to take over the Congo, and against my, the government unfortunately shut it down because they're criminals.
Well, of course.
so I
From a government,
propose
you're
to
a criminal.
you, dear viewer, that instead of Mr. Amodeo, wait that way, Mr. Amodeo, you should instead hashtag vote Joe, and we will raise the tax rate to around 80%. We will tax Mr. Panzerotti properly, and we will fund public transport for all. America will actually have some trains, which would be nice.
Yep. Well, no,
and yeah, we will
I
seize
agree
all
with
Pete's
some of that.
assets.
Well, Pete is he's going to be my capital partner, but I do like a lot of your ideas about the socialism idea about the, we need the trains, we need a lot of that stuff, folks, because this capital genesis is it's almost like it's socialism with a twist, folks. Okay, picture a Pepsi twist. Okay, I drink a lot
What
of Pepsi,
kind of
folks,
twist
so
there? Huh? Is it a lemon lime twist? Huh?
I drink a good 30 to 50 Pepsis a day, folks. It's good for you.
Oh, minimum. We only
Pete's
have
hat,
Pepsi in my
Pete's
restaurant.
glasses, seized.
Yep.
Everything seized.
We have a lot of Pepsi in my restaurant. If you like cherry Pepsi, vanilla Pepsi, Pepsi with lime, Diet Pepsi caffeine free. We got the vanilla. Oh, we even have, like a raspberry flavored. We even got mint flavored. We got about 43 different kinds of Pepsis is all I'm trying to tell you in my restaurant. So that's what Frank has now inspired me to do. But I'll
Yep.
tell you something. I'll tell you something. The train thing, I think that's whacked. I don't know why. I just think it's whack. That's my record there. But Frank, if you want to build a new world order, your soldiers and everything have to have food. Who makes food
Right.
for a living?
It's gonna be
Okay.
your restaurants. Yep.
Thank you. I will be making your soldiers the best Italian beef sandwiches they've ever had, the absolute best Chicago dogs they've ever had. Okay. You want I don't know, deep dish pizzas? I'll make you 12,000 of them in a day to feed your boys there. And they'll be fed like good old Chicago boys, which means Chicago, kind of a place with violence. We had the Haymaker riots, we had St. Valentine's Day, we had Capone. What were they all eating? They were all eating dip dish pizzas, Chicago dogs, and Italian beef sandwiches. Coinky dink? I don't think so. Okay.
Well, let me just interject there, Pete. Chicago has violence, folks, is because they don't have the capital Genesis business plan yet. Which,
I
after we
agree
deal
with
with the
it.
Congo, we will be in Chicago. We will make that a
Oh,
priority, folks. I guarantee it.
I have ends in Chicago. You want to pay off the mayor? This guy. You want to pay
Absolutely
off
do.
city council? This guy. District attorney? This
I'm
guy. You want to
coming for
pay
your
off the
hat.
fire chief? The fire chief? The police chief? This guy. This guy. I feed them all. I feed them all the time. They're always in my restaurant eating their Italian beefs. Okay. What's Frank there? Frank. Hey Frank, did you
Hold
get
on.
a?
I gotta help Mini Frank find his bicycle helmet. He wants to ride his bike. It's like 20 degrees in Clearwater, Buffalo here right
No,
now. But so
no,
give me
no
a second,
problem. No
guys.
problem. Joe and I
Thanks.
will have a powwow.
Okay.
So Joe.
I'm coming
So
for your
Joe.
hat, Pete. Your hat's mine.
You like
I'm
my
coming for
flat
your
cap?
hat. I'm
My flat
seizing it. I'm
cap?
coming for it.
I got
Tax.
27 pairs of the same thing, just in case. So even if you come from one of them, I still got 26 more.
You shouldn't have disclosed that. Now I'm coming from them all.
You're never
80%.
gonna find them. They're all dug in holes around my house. I got safes. I got them in my safety deposit boxes in my banks. You'll never find all of them.
Hey, you should have put them in the Virgin Islands.
Well, I've never been there. I've only been to the Cayman Islands because they don't ask any questions. I've been to St. Vincent and
Okay.
St. Lucia. They ask even less questions than the Caymans. Okay, you walk into a bank, they just take your money and put it in an account. In the Caymans, they got to ask a couple questions. You know what I'm saying? St. Vincent, they just assume it's terrible money, but they don't care. You know,
I got.
we got
Sorry to
Boba Fett
interrupt. I
back
got
there.
Mini Frank here. Mini Frank is here. Say hi.
Got Boba Fett. Are we going to use them in our coup d'états in the Congo
Absolutely.
there?
Absolutely.
Good. He looks like we're going to have a whole legion of soldiers with that helmet on. I get it.
Thanks,
I get
Frank.
it. I get that. Frank there. Frank's a good dad.
Thanks. Thought we'd add that in there.
Oh yeah. Well, what else we got?
That'll
What do we got on the board today? So we're going to take over the Congo. But there's also two Congos, by the way. Are we talking about the Democratic Republic of Congo, or are we talking about the Republic of Congo? Because there's two of them.
We'll take
I
both.
say we take
Zaire,
both
right?
of them.
Still exists. Zaire still exists, right?
I don't think so. I think that's the Democratic
Three
Republic of
Congos.
the
Three
Congo.
Congos.
Zaire don't exist no more. That's the Democratic Republic of the Congo. You're thinking of Zimbabwe.
We'll take them over all at the same time, folks.
Zimbabwe is a thing. We could also take over Zimbabwe. They had that guy Robert Mugabe. He printed like a $1 trillion Zimbabwe bill. That takes courage, my friends, to screw up your economy and to make hyperinflation up to trillions, $100 trillion bill. I wish I could do that. Jeez, what a brave man that was. Talk about socialism, by the way. He was a Marxist. But that's besides the point. He probably liked trains, I guess, too, They didn't run on time, though, in Zimbabwe, but that's okay. No one's perfect.
Yep.
He tried.
So we'll start with the Democratic Republic, and then we'll branch off from there.
Okay.
I think we could do all three at once, but that's just me. You know,
Again, there's
after you get
only
a
two,
couple
but that's
Pepsis in
fine.
me, after you get a
Okay,
couple
when we
Pepsis
talk
in me,
about
it's not stopping.
when we talk about the country of Zaire, that don't exist no more. This is all I remember from schools. Zaire is not a thing. Zaire changed its name to the Democratic Republic of the Congo. And then there was a separate entity called the Republic of the Congo. So those are the Congos, okay? They also have Zimbabwe, of course, which used to be called Rhodesia back in the day. But that's besides the point. But listen, how about we take over
No,
Congo
no,
and
you're
rename it
wrong. You
Zaire?
see, they called it Zaire again, and then they moved it up the river.
Is that what they did? Am I wrong?
Yeah,
It's my geography wrong?
you're always wrong.
Okay. That's true. But usually when it comes to geography, I'm at least at the 30% right. This time, no?
You guys know your stuff.
0%.
Okay, how about this? How about we come to a compromise? We take over the Congo, you give me the northeastern part, and we call it Zaire, and I just put a house there, and I'll be, on constant safari with lions and stuff. You can give me a Jeep, and I can just be on safari all day, every day for the rest of my lives. How about that? Giraffes, lions. I hear they're all friendly. I saw that Lion King movie. They all kind of get along, and they
We should
talk a lot.
import some hippos as well.
Oh, the hippos, of
Absolutely.
course. Not
Just
vicious
let
at
them
all.
loose. What could possibly go wrong?
Nothing
Yeah.
would go wrong. Hippos are just big land cows. I mean, they're cute,
Yeah.
I like elephants, folks.
Elephants are great.
Yep.
Who doesn't like an elephant? Except maybe a mouse, but that's a myth from
Probably,
what I hear.
probably tax attorneys don't like them. Am I right, folks?
I have no idea what that means, but I found it funny.
Thank you.
But seriously, that'll be my section. You'll call it Panzerotti Zaire. There we go. Okay, we got it all down.
Absolutely.
Panzerville.
Well, we got to plan it out first. Because plans always work out the way you want them to, especially when it has to do with fraud and defrauding a government. Plans always work out 100% of the time.
This is going to have to be a weekly series, folks, because we got a lot to talk about.
Of course.
OBG Foster says hippo tastes like chicken. That might be something for your restaurant, Pete.
Well, if I could import hippos, and we do have a good chicken parmesan at my restaurant. It's my grandmother's recipe. Again, she's in a federal penitentiary. But if I could swap the chicken for the hippos and it would be cost effective, I would do it. They also say that alligator tastes like chicken. If I could get, cheaper alligator, we could do an alligator parmesan. We could do a hippopotamus parmesan. I would do it. I think about it. If my overhead goes down, I just don't know about the whole Texas thing. Those are exotic animals. I got to fly them in, all that. When I have chickens in my farm, it's just easier that way.
Well, if anyone gives you any problems, you just tell them to call Frank Amodeo, and we'll sort those problems out immediately. Take immediately aggressive action against any and all criminals that give you any problems.
I know that your specialty is also an exotic animal, lawyers. One of your 14,000 specialties is exotic animal law, so I will be making a call.
Well, we're doing away with all lawyers. I'm rewriting the Constitution.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. In Zaire, there's going to be no lawyers. No lawyers in Zaire. And everyone has to eat Chicago food. That's right. Going to be part of the law.
Hippo.
It's for their own good, folks. All right? We're doing this for everyone's own good, all right?
Hippo sandwiches for everybody, double dipped in like a French dip. We're going to call it a hippo dip. And it's going to be a lovely baguette. We're going to put some hippo meat, some peppers. We're going to dip it into some sauce, and it's going to be fantastic. Absolutely. The thing is, the price is going to be 100 trillion Zimbabwean dollars, which is not anything, by the way. It's only about 2 cents, but still, that's what the price is going to be.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It sounds like a great plan. It sounds like we got to take immediately aggressive action to get these plans going.
Central Africa. Come on.
Yep.
Remember when we used to play Risk? Who used to play Risk as a kid? I played Risk. My favorite place was Congo. That's my favorite place, right in the middle of Africa. You put your people in there. You always win all the time. Napoleon wins all the time when you take in Congo. It's just a fact.
Excellent.
Just a fact.
Sounds amazing.
It does, doesn't it?
Yep.
I always used to find
So what else,
starting off
Frank?
in Australia meant you could work your way out eventually. But I always lost, so take that with a pinch of salt.
Kangaroo is good. We could do some kangaroo sandwiches. We could do some
Yep.
koala sandwiches. We could do some gator sandwiches. We could do some wallaby sandwiches. We could do some kookaburra sandwiches.
Yep. We'll make it available worldwide, folks. That's what we're
Yeah.
talking about.
Tree kangaroos, land kangaroos, they got all of them there. Cassowaries, those bastards, those cassowary bastards with their class. We'll make some good sandwiches out of them. Emus.
It's fine.
There's
After
a
the
war.
emus
Emus
win,
won.
we come in. Take over.
Yes. Oh,
Yep.
yes. They did win the first war. The emus won a war against the humans in Australia. It was called the Human Emu War. The emus won. So that's what we do. We let them loose again with the cassowaries, and then we just walk in like we own the place, which we will after
Yes, we
those
do.
birds tear apart all of the Aussies.
Yep.
Yep. We got to be aggressive, folks. It's for everyone's own good.
Yep. You got to
The
be.
emus
Gotta be as
actually work
aggressive.
for Frank Amodeo.
This is true.
Yeah.
They have a
Emu,
chip in their
Amu,
head, right?
coincidence? I think not.
Absolutely. Frank agrees with Joe.
Frank put a chip in their heads and their tiny little brains, and when it gets activated, it's like that movie, The Day of the Dolphins.
Tiny
When the
brains
dolphins
like
come alive and
Yep.
attack.
tiny brains like tax
Have you
attorneys, folks. Am I right?
You're right, my friend.
Anytime I got something from a tax attorney, folks, it looks like it's written in crayon and a second grade pencil. Am I right, folks? You guys know I'm right.
I probably sent you that note, and it wasn't crayon, by the way. It was the cheaper version of crayon called Playmobil. Remember them?
Yep.
They only had 4 colors. I'm sorry, I tried to make it look professional, but they only had red, green, yellow, and white. They were the off-brand that you get at the dollar store. I'm so sorry. Tried to do it professionally speaking, but they didn't have the money to buy the fancy Crayolas.
That's okay.
Them
We're
and
taking over the Crayola
their
factory anyway.
price gouging.
Question for you there, Frank.
Oh, okay. From the legendary Mr. Matt Cox. Oh, let's put it up on the screen if I remember how to do this, folks. It's going to take Mr. Matt Cox says it's going to take a lot of money to take over the Oh, wait. It's going to take a lot of money to begin to taking over countries. How does Frank intend to raise the money to acquire that money? We're going back to basics, folks. Am I right? We're going back to basics. I'm getting all my old companies out of mothballs, and we're getting the companies all back. We got the tactical companies, the military companies. We're going back to the same old square one, not paying the taxes, folks. We'll give the IRS pennies on the dollar. That's all they deserve. They don't know what to do with the money. If they get too much of it, they get flustered, and so we're going to raise the money that way, folks.
Mm-hmm. Plus, I think that you have enough money now that you can buy Boeing, and you can buy Raytheon, and you can buy the people that make the Abrams tanks. So you're good.
If we can't buy them, folks, we'll take them right over, folks. We got the tactical companies.
Absolutely.
We'll take them right over. Yep.
Like I said, diversifying your portfolio. I'm diversifying my portfolio in electric cars, international arms dealers, and candy. Who knew?
That's great. That's great diversification because, especially with the electric cars, folks, because the more electric cars sold, the more cobalt they're going to need from Congo, which will be another revenue stream that we have.
I have no idea what it is, but I know it's there.
Yep.
It's a type of metals, I think. I don't know. What do I know? I'm just
Panzerotti.
I just cook food all day.
Yep. All I know is it makes money, folks. Is the bottom line.
Oh, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Okay, I'm a white guy, and I don't really do the heat very well. I suspect that it's going to be very hot and humid in the jungles of Congo. So I'm going to need an air-conditioned trailer that is going to have to be pulled by a pickup truck. And I'm going to need that 24/7 because I'm not even going to step out into the nature. So if I can get an air conditioned trailer, with a PS5 and Spider-Man and stuff like that, you guys can do whatever you want, okay? But I need air conditioning is what I'm trying to tell you, okay? Because if I
Consider it
step
done.
out into that heat, this
Well,
white guy
yep.
is going to go falling on my ass, okay?
We'll
I'm
either
just
buy
telling
or
you.
take over. Sorry to cut you off. We'll either buy or take over an air conditioning company, folks. It just makes sense.
There you go. We can, you know what? We can air condition the whole place.
Yep.
We'll
Yep.
put a
Absolutely. Got to
dome. We'll
cool it
put a
down.
dome. We'll make a dome over Congo, and we'll make it climate controlled. And there we go. I can step out into a nice, 65-degree air conditioned Congo weather.
That's right.
I think it's doable. I think the dome is
Absolutely.
doable.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. Whatever we say is
Kinshasa. The
yep.
capital of Congo is Kinshasa, and that took me a long time to remember. Also, it's mentioned in a movie called 12 Monkeys, which is fantastic, which is what I'm going to take also away from the Congo. I'm going to take 12 monkeys from the Congo, and I'm going to bring them to my farm.
It's there for the taking, folks. We might as well take what we need. All right.
Kinshasa, that's the one. Only took me 44 minutes to remember that one.
It's a good plan.
It's a good one, isn't it?
Yep. Absolutely.
So
it's a lot of
what other countries are we going to take over? So we got Congo, we got Australia. I say we leave Tasmania alone. That place scares me. Tasmania
okay.
Devils. I grew up on the Looney Tunes.
All
That guy
right.
was just too weird. I don't want to go into a jungle with the Tasmanian Devil there. So I say we leave Tasmania.
For
And then we
now.
got what? We got a bunch of island nations. You want to go hopping to island to islands in Indonesia and the Solomons and all that?
Well, for sure Japan because they make good cars. We need infinity,
Of course.
folks. All
Sushi,
right.
rice,
Yep. Yep.
sashimi.
Toyota. We got to take over the Toyota factories, folks.
Of course. Come on.
Lexus. Yep.
Lexus, Toyota. Yeah, I got it. I need a Lexus.
Absolutely.
No, I need someone named Alexis. I also need Alexis.
Absolutely.
Anyway, that was not a good joke.
Oh, I
The
thought it was
horrible
good.
Apple joke that I tried to force in there.
We're taking over
But
Apple
Japan
too,
would be
folks.
nice.
Yep.
Toyota War Part 2 when?
What, Joe?
I like the Corolla. It's a good car.
Absolutely, it is.
You know the Toyota War?
No.
Where was this? I think in Libya and Chad there was a war called the Toyota War because both sides just used Toyota pickup trucks.
That makes sense in Libya's.
So
hot there too.
So yeah,
Matt,
we'll take
Matt
over Toyota Part 2.
So, Mr. Matt Cox asks, has anyone read the book It's Insanity? It's about me, folks. If anyone wants to read it, it's a great book. I read the book, folks. It's on. You can buy it through Matt Cox's YouTube channel. I listen to. Well, I read the physical book and I read it on Audible.
You read it on okay. I thought Audible was audiobooks. Don't you listen on Audible?
Yeah,
I think
you're right. Yep, it's a great book though.
Yeah.
It's a great book.
Listen, Frank, you can do whatever you want. If you wanna read an audiobook, you can read an audiobook. Let me tell you.
That's right.
Okay, I've done things like that in my past that will blow your mind. So that's
but it's a great book.
Definitely something that can be doable. I'm still trying to get over the Heart of Darkness. That one's a good one. I'm gonna get it from the library this weekend. I'm gonna read it because it's gonna give us a lot of strategy on how to take over Congo. And then what I'll do is I'll write a report on it, and I will fax it to you. I'm sure you got a fax machine.
That's right, I do,
Frank. And I'll fax out maybe 5-6 pages of our plans, and that will be what we call Operation Heart of Darkness or Operation the Horror. In reference, of course, to Kurtz and Apocalypse Now. But I think the Operation the Horror is going to go well. I think the jungles will be welcoming to us. I think all the tigers and the lions and the panthers and the snakes, the poisonous ones. I think once we enter the jungles, I think they're all just going to bow to us. They're all going to do a Lion King thing where they all pledge their loyalty to us. I mean, again, if the Lion King is lying to us, I don't think it is. I think it's an accurate portrayal of an African jungle species. They all speak English. Maybe we got to brush up on our Swahili. You know what I
Well,
mean? Like Hakuna
I was
Matata. I know
thinking,
that.
I was,
I know that phrase. That's Swahili. But I think the lions will speak English. And what else do you want? You know?
I was thinking of making English the universal language, folks. Am I right?
It already is, kind of, but
Okay.
we can make it. I mean,
Make
they
it
speak
official.
French in Congo, and this guy doesn't like French, so we'll make them speak English.
That's right. For their own good, folks. For their own good.
So I see that Joe, is that a ukulele's in your hand? Are you going to play something?
That's a
for us?
cavaquinho. It's similar to ukulele, but
my mistake.
I lost my train of thought now. I was going to say something. Never mind.
I have no thought, no train in my thoughts, so don't worry about it. That
No,
train left the
see, no
station.
train
Yes.
because you don't pay taxes.
Well,
I'm coming for your hat. I'm coming for your
Listen,
hat. I'm getting my train of thought back.
27 of them.
Taxes are overrated.
Listen, I have taken the L train before. It's a nice train. I didn't pay for it. Don't want
Hats
to
are
pay for it,
overrated.
but that's okay.
Mm.
That's okay. Trains. Everybody, the whole
Nice.
trains. We're all got to go on trains. Big whoop-de frickin' do. Buy a goddamn car. Like, buy a Toyota and drive. If you're in America, you drive a Toyota. Okay? You drive like an SUV that has 10 miles to the gallon on gasoline. And that's what a true American, red-blooded American does. I own one of those old GMC Tahoes. That thing is 6 miles to the gallon, and I drive it hundreds of miles every day. I'm always stopping for gasoline. I'm just saying,
Well, that's
I'm a
all. That's good,
red-blooded
Pete.
American.
Yep, I'm not against that, Pete, but we do want the viewers to buy electric cars so that way we can get more cobalt. The more cobalt will need to be
true.
extracted.
Exactly. I also agree with you. I think electric cars use cobalt.
Yeah.
I have no science to back that up. It might, not be a real thing, but I believe it.
Yep.
I believe everything you say.
Thank you very much. And the viewers believe
you're
it too,
welcome.
folks, because it's all true. And this is all for everyone's own good.
You're like the only lawyer I like except for my own lawyers.
That's why we're doing away with
Markowitz, and
lawyers.
Feinberg.
Yep.
Yeah, Miskowitz, Markowitz, and Feinberg. Those are my lawyers. Love them. And you're the only one else. They have saved me millions of dollars, by the way.
Okay, they sound okay. I mean, I consider myself more of a business manager now, because my law days are behind me since, we are doing away with all lawyers.
Okay, well, we can save 3 of them.
Okay. Well, they could do other things. A lot of them we can't talk about what we're going to do to them. But I
get that. I get that. Well, you know how it is. You know how it is. You're all welcome in Chicago. You're all welcome to visit my farm in my unincorporated territory, unincorporated hamlet. And I'll give you a coupon, 50% off the price of an Italian-style sandwich. And 50. Well, that's with purchase of a drink, of course. I'm running a business here.
And this is a true statement I put on, Matt Cock put up. I got 12 years knocked off of his sentence, almost like nothing, folks. The government will cave immediately if we start to, you got to be aggressive with them. You got to take the kid gloves off, folks.
Yep.
We got to force them to make good decisions and do what we. Yep.
And then we'll be running the Congo soon, so we'll have our own government there. No taxes.
That's right.
The trains will run without taxes. That's the Panzerotti guarantee.
There might have to be. It's fine if there's no taxes, but there might have to be some kind of money that gets flown up
Oh, for sure.
flows up to me for running the empire.
Of course, extortion. We'll legalize that. It'll be fine.
Yep.
What we'll literally do is we'll literally turn people upside down and shake them until all their money falls out. You ever seen a Bugs Bunny cartoon? It works. Come on.
And we're changing the laws, folks, so it's going to be legal. There's not going to be anyone that's going to
Exactly.
say
We can do
anything
whatever
about
we
it
want.
because it's legal. Yep.
We're going to change the
The
weather.
problem
in
with
Congo.
trains is you eventually run out of hats.
Who said that? What? We have to do what? I'm so sorry. I didn't get that one.
The problem with trains is you eventually run out of hats.
Do we, though? Do we really want that?
Well, I like trains because they could bring me my cobalt.
This is true. This is true.
See?
I also like aerial machines. We could get a bunch of helicopters. Could do the same thing. I'm just saying, Oh, that's fine. That's fine. If you like trains, we'll get trains.
That's right.
You
know how it is.
Karina, sim meu cavaquinho.
Okay.
Sorry, carry on. Just international language there.
Excellent.
Just, you know.
I speak American.
Maybe I should start speaking Esperanto to you.
Well.
Yep.
That's a version of Spanish, isn't it? Espanol, Esperanto. Isn't that the same thing? I could speak a little Spanish, like a tacos por favor. You know what I'm saying?
I like that Joe could speak multiple languages, even though we only need the English language, folks. Am I right?
I speak American and sometimes Canadian. That's all.
Oh, we need the lumber in Canada too, am I right?
I'm not fully fluent in Canadian, so you know how it is. You go up north and they're apologizing for everything all the time. It's weird. But I speak American. I got a nice accent going on too, and that's what I'm going to say, because everyone in the world speaks American.
Yep. They will pretty soon, folks.
Of course they will. They'll speak American in Congo. Once we get to Congo, they're going to speak American there. So then comes all the other islands. They're all going to speak American soon.
Yep. Like I said, folks, this is for their own good. All right. It's going to be less clutter. Well, less red tape. It's too many governments right now, folks.
What's that? What's that saying? The ends always justify the means. I think that's the saying.
That's right.
What could possibly go wrong?
We got to make it go right, folks. Got to make it go right.
So I see here it says, Corrine says you were speaking Portuguese. I don't know anything about ports. I don't know anything about geese. So if you're speaking to geese on ports, I have no idea what you're saying. I don't talk to geese. Who wants to talk to geese? And why would they be at a port? Doesn't make any sense to me.
I not follow English.
Man, I eat geese. You want a goose sandwich? You come to my restaurant. But other than that, I don't know what they're doing all on the port.
Hey, Claire.
Why?
Claire the Tailor.
Why?
It's great to see everyone in here.
There we go. Now I'm back. I think a flock of geese just ran into my internet connection. Those bastards are everywhere.
That's right.
Jeez.
After I take over, folks, we're just going to have one different internet. We don't need 10 different internet companies.
What kind of made up name is Portuguese, anyways? Come on.
I hear you.
Port of Geese. You know what? That's actually going to be the name of my capital city. It's going to be Port of Geese, Zaire. Panzerotti, Zaire. Port of Geese, Panzerotti, Zaire. And we will have one international airport that will basically only go to Congo. Okay. And we'll also have a port. And there'll be a lot of geese at that port. I tell you that.
We're going to have to eat this elephant one spoonful at a time, folks.
Frank, what's your position on geese?
Okay, that's a serious.
I mean, I'm sure we could find something to exploit about geese, folks. I don't know what it is. We'll have to have some studies, and we'll have to get back to you on that. But I'm sure we could do something with them. like I said, folks, I'm more of a business manager nowadays. You know what I mean? So,
You have no position on geese?
well, I mean,
What kind of politician are you?
we got to find a way to make money off them, folks. Am I right? If anyone has any ideas how we can make money off the geese, you write Frank a letter. Am I right?
This is what we
Facts.
do.
A fact.
We take the same
Yep.
we take the same chips that we're going to put in the brains of the emus, and we put them in the geese. And what they do is the geese start constructing our buildings because we're going to need infrastructures. So the
How
geese are going to have to do what the emus will be the soldiers, okay? But the geese will be the ones that will build our buildings, our skyscrapers. They're going to build the roads, and yes, they'll build the train tracks for our imaginary socialist train system that's going to work wonders with public money, okay, commies. And, the geese will do all that kind of work.
if we could make that work, folks? That'd be
They
great.
will be the
A
people that
plan
do the
B. Let's
structures.
have a
So
plan B.
emus are the
How
soldiers.
about? Yep. Okay, so that's a good plan A. But folks, if I have to teach you everything, if plan A doesn't work, you always have to have a plan B, folks. So plan B is we unalive 95% of the geese, we'll make them a rarity, and then everyone will
Yep.
want them, folks.
Plan
They're
C,
also very
swans.
delicious.
Yep.
Yeah, geese are actually very. I don't know if you ever had goose before. It's absolutely delicious. Goose legs, goose wings. As I said, every once in a while I put goose into my sandwiches. People love them. The mayor of Chicago enjoys a hot goose sandwich from my restaurant once a year.
That's great.
It's wonderful. It's an amazing thing.
I just want to say, because I don't want to forget, folks, because we're going to plug this at the end, but Matt Cox is the guy that wrote the book on me, Frank Amodeo. He's got a great YouTube channel. It's called Inside True Crime, and it says his name at the end, Matt Cox. It's my favorite channel on YouTube, folks.
That's good. I like fake crime more than I like true crime. So if there's any fake crime podcasts out there you recommend, we can do that. Certainly, the reason I don't like true crime is because my life is a true crime, and especially when it comes to tax fraud. But if you have any fake crimes out there, that would be wonderful.
Well,
I think
Matt,
a group of geese is called a flock, if I'm not mistaken.
okay.
A flock of geese.
Matt has a good question, and this is going to take a few minutes for me to get this out because I've had several events, folks, in my life that, I didn't realize the first time something happens that I want to take over the world, but I had events happen when I was younger, folks, that I was on a train tracks, and, for example, a train was going to run me over, folks. I heard the voice of God asking me to get off the train. I got off the train came whizzing by, saved my life, folks. There was a couple other things that I want to get into right today, but from a young age, folks, I knew that I was destined. It was preordained, all right? And I've heard the voice of God, folks, many times. I'll go on to that in future videos, folks.
Frank, when I met you, I said, there's a guy who had a near-death experience on a train track and heard God.
Yep.
As a good old Catholic boy myself, I go to church every day as long as you don't ask the priest. I'm there in the back. He never sees me, but that's fine. I attend regularly, which means sometimes when I feel like it. And I'm always doing my rosaries, and I knew it. I looked into your eyes and deep into your soul, and I said, that man almost died on a train track and heard the voice of God.
Yep. Absolutely, folks. It's a true story, folks.
That's right.
Yep.
I'm sure it's a true story. Why would you make that up?
How could you make it up, folks?
You can't.
Nope.
Who? Train tracks? Near death? God? Come on.
Yep. Yep.
So what else? What else? What other
Trying to
crimes
think what
have we
else we
committed?
could. Yeah, I know. This is just the tip
we
of the
got
iceberg,
tax
folks.
fraud.
There's gonna be plenty more episodes. Am I right?
Well, we got tax fraud.
Icebergs,
Okay.
there we go. What's
What
your
about
take
the
on
iceberg?
icebergs, Frank?
I think we
Iceberg.
shouldn't talk. I think we shouldn't joke about icebergs. It's been, It's the Titanic. We're not over that yet, okay? We're not over the Titanic. At least in
Not
my
too soon.
household, we're not over the Titanic yet, okay?
True. I agree
Just
with you on
saying,
that.
just saying.
Yep.
It's only been 112 years, but
Yep.
I'm not over it yet. Especially because, Jack died. He didn't have to die, Jack. Did not have to die on that piece of wood. There was plenty of room for both of them. And, then he was a real person. That was a documentary that James Cameron made. And R.I.P. to Jack, who didn't have to die. And also, the woman didn't have to throw the jewel into the sea like an idiot. It was worth $80 million. Anyway, don't get me started with that documentary.
Oh,
I can't.
that's good.
Don't get me started. Okay.
Matt has another great question for me, Frank. That's me, Frank Amodeo. He's asking how long have I wanted to take over the world. Well, it started, folks. I had this seed. It was like a seed that was growing in my mind from middle school. I had premonitions, and then in high school, it became more clear, through the years, folks, and especially when I started college, folks. By the time I started college, I knew it was preordained, folks. Even in high school, folks, everyone knew it was not secret, folks.
Were you voted most likely to take over the world at your
I
high
was
school
I was voted most likely to succeed, actually, and I
and
was the
take over
captain
the
of the
world?
chess club too. Yep.
You know, I was voted most likely to eat 10 hot dogs in 1 minute, and I did it twice in my
Wow,
life.
that's very
Yeah.
good.
Inspiration, I mean, you don't get it every day. Then when God calls, you got to take the phone call. You know what I'm talking about?
Absolutely.
You know, you know, Jesus calls, I answer. We have a powwow. He says, eat hot dogs. I eat them.
That's that's good to do.
Hey, listen, I'm not complicated. I'm not a smart man, but
Victoria,
I'm also
thank you
not
for your
complicated.
support.
I'm sorry, Joe.
Victoria, thank you for your support.
Oh, thank you, Victoria.
Ah, the French. Reluctantly. I'm also on the train reluctantly. If I
I
could take my
appreciate it,
big gas guzzling SUV, I'm on that one. But okay, I'm coming around to the trains. Coming around slowly but
oh,
surely.
folks.
I'm a
I also sorry to cut you off. I also own most of the Bullival Watch Company, folks. So if you want to buy a Bullival watch, that will be building one of my companies, folks. I appreciate it.
I like that. I'm gonna buy one.
Thank you.
I don't have a watch on right now. I lost it, but probably on my farm somewhere.
I'm thinking of buying
It'll
all the
turn up.
watch companies, so it'll be like a monopoly, folks. Am I right?
Monopoly's a terrible game, but I get
And
it.
then we could just have one watch, folks. To uncomplicate things. One watch is all we need,
Oh,
folks.
speaking of monopolies, there's train tracks on monopolies. There's train stations, and you can monopolize the train station. This is what we need to do. We need to sit down and play Monopoly. Also, to incorporate that into our plan to take over Congo.
Okay.
Because I tell you, in Zaire, we're going to have a boardwalk, and we're going to have a Baltic Avenue, and they're going to be very close to each other. Scummy part of town and the beautiful part of town. They'll be right next to each other. That's
Wow.
that's what this guy's going to do.
We'll have Monopoly the Congo edition. Okay,
Now
Tell
so
that
Congo
blew
you
my
stay in my
mind.
hotel.
That blew my mind. Like,
was that Pierre? Is that the name? It says I read It's Insanity by Matt Cox. Great book. I have a question for Frank. So let me know what your question is. My name is Frank Amadeo.
I have a lot of questions for Frank, but I'm gonna hold them off until we take over the Congo.
Well, we could do this as a weekly thing if we have the time. We're both very
Sure.
busy, single, successful men, and Joe's busy too. But we'll have to. People seem to love the show, learning about what's going to
They
happen.
do. They do. I mean, this is a slow, process, right? We're not going to take over the Congo tomorrow. Maybe
Baby
the
steps.
next day, but not tomorrow. It's not going to happen tomorrow.
Baby steps, folks. We'll eat this elephant one spoonful at a time.
Exactly. We have to be realistic. I'm thinking at least 48 to 72 hours, you know, at
Yep.
least. That's a realistic, thing. I can't
Especially,
imagine there'll be much resistance there. I mean, most people won't even know that. Why a bunch of white people coming to take over our town? Our country. We're gonna have the
Yeah.
element of surprise.
Oh, hold on one sec. My son has a question for me.
Well, it looks like it's just me. And if you like Chicago accents, you get me for the next couple minutes. I feel sorry for all y'alls. Because I don't really know what I'm talking about or what I'm saying. All I know is if you come to my restaurant, you get 50% off the price of an Italian style sandwich with purchase of a large drink. And we have Tab, we have Mellow Yellow, we have Crystal Pepsi, we got that German apple juice stuff that has no sugar in it. We got schnapps, we got Ouzo. I can make a Mai Tai that'll knock your socks off, and bourbon sours. Those are specialties. They go
Excellent.
good with a nice Italian sausage sandwich. So you want a bourbon sour? We got that covered. And we validate parking.
Sounds like a great
Do,
restaurant.
do we deliver? Unfortunately, we do not deliver, but because the Uber Eats people have policies, and I'm not really up to date on my, on them. So the Postmates and the Uber Eats peoples and Skip the Dishes peoples. If you're up there in Canada's, they don't really like my restaurant. Something about the quality not being too good. Listen, I have an A+ from my own health inspector. Gives an A+ all the time. The dirtbag in Chicago says it's lower. Screw them. I know that my kitchen is top notch. Okay, better than Portillo's. The kitchen in Portillo's is disgusting. Okay, mine is like you can eat off the floor of my kitchen, which I do sometimes when I'm drunk off my, bourbon sours on a Friday night. That has nothing to do with anything. That's just a personal anecdote. But come to my restaurant. We get a coupon. Who doesn't want a good Italian beef? Come on.
Absolutely. It's going to be a great restaurant
Friday
once
at
we get a
noon.
couple of them in the Congo, folks.
Of course we're gonna have Pete. My restaurant is actually called Pete Panzerotti's House of Pete Panzerotti's. So we're gonna do that. And yes, Clearwater Claire, the tailor. Hi there. You can book a table on Friday at noon. There's no reservations. I have a massive, massive place. We're never booked salad, and I got buffet. We got brunch, by the way. It's the same stuff if you like deep dish pizzas and Italian sandwiches. I'm not going to make a fancy brunch unless you like Chicago food. But yeah, of course. Do you listen? You said, do I serve with a candlelight? Candlelight romantic dinner. We got a back area. We could put you in the back there in a dark room. We can make it romantic. I can put up some of those, Cupid, Valentine's Day, things you put on the wall with the hearts and the cupids. I can staple them to the walls if you want. What's more romantic than eating Chicago style food and listening to me, I don't know, elaborate in romance letters in my accent. Like, dear Claire, you're the most beautiful persons in the world. I think tonight is going to be the night that you are going to meet a tall and dark strangers. What? That's sexy. Every woman that dies for a Chicagoland area man, because this accent is like Brad Pitt. You know, like if Brad Pitt had an accent, if his face had an accent, it would be Chicagoland.
And
I'm
just so
just
everyone
saying.
knows, I, Frank Amodeo, have my personal table at Pete's restaurant. Whenever I go in
100%.
there, yep.
Of course, everybody
That way I
has
can get,
their own
yep, yeah.
reservation. The, the best table in the house is the one you're not in. That doesn't make any sense. Doesn't matter. It made sense in
That's
my head,
okay.
and then when I started talking, it lost sense.
That's okay. No
But
one's allowed to question us
put,
anyway, so
put
it
it this
doesn't matter.
way. Put it this way.
So
20 years ago, we had a Zagat's reviewer come in and said, "This place, every table is the best table."
It's a great
Zagat's.
restaurant, yep.
Yep.
so about the Congo,
Okay.
Okay.
Did you say we will have the element of surprise?
It's the cobalt element of surprise. Yes, because
No,
we're
no,
going to
no, no,
steal
no,
all
no,
the
no.
cobalt.
No. We will have the elephant of surprise.
That too.
Okay.
That too. I've been reading a lot about Hannibal and his trick with the elephants in the Alps. Not a smart move. So if there's any mountains, we're not going to take the elephants up the mountains. That's the thing we learned from Hannibal. But we will utilize our elephant friends when we invade the country. That's just part of the deal.
It's gonna happen, folks. It's gonna happen. It's for everyone's own good, folks.
And yes, Clearwater, Clear, I know it's not. I know it's for your birthday, not for Valentine's Day, but we got a lot of Valentine's Day leftover stuff from the dollar store, and I'm gonna decorate the room in cupids and hearts, even if it's for your birthday. Doesn't matter. Well, let's celebrate everything. You want a nice romantic dinner? You're gonna put up some cupids and some hearts. I'll put a happy birthday sign there. Maybe there'll be a happy St. Patrick's Day sign up there. All I'm saying is I got a lot of those signs and I'm gonna put them in the room. So maybe an Arbor Day sign will be there, maybe a New Year's sign will be there, maybe a Happy Kwanzaa sign will be there. It's gonna be a wonderful, wonderful room filled with all kinds of wonderful stuff. That's all I'm trying to tell you. Arbor Day coming up, you know.
And just so everyone at home knows, now that's all great with the holidays, folks, but me, Frank Amodeo, I'm so busy because I'm a businessman. I work all day, so I don't even know what holidays what. They pass me by. I don't even realize it, folks. I work 16 to 18
I don't
hours
know what
a day.
day it is. I don't know where I am half the time.
Yep.
No public holidays in America, right?
No time for holidays. Working all the time.
Because you don't pay taxes.
Yeah, well, taxes are overrated, folks. You know what I mean? The IRS, they don't know what to do with the tax money. They can't read or write. They write in the second grade pencil and the crayon. They don't know what to do. So they can't handle this money, folks. They can't even count to 10. So they don't need the money.
The IRS are a bunch of bums.
Yep,
What I would like
bums.
to do is I would like to take all of their calculators that they have there, put them in a dumpster. Do math without a calculator, eggheads. Okay, do my taxes without a calculator, egghead. And
They
then
don't
I'll
even
pay
know how
my
to turn it.
taxes.
That's
You
right.
think
They don't
you're
even
so
know how to
smart?
turn
You
it.
think you're an accountant? Come on. Accountant who can't do math without a calculator. Get the hell out of Chicago.
They don't even know how to turn the calculators on, folks. This is insanity. We don't need tax attorneys. They're going to be, I can't say on the air what we're going to do them, folks, but this problem is going to be ending. Believe me.
They're going to retire to an island.
No, we'll say that right now in the air, folks.
I am saying that right now. They're going to retire to an island. Not really. I don't know which one. We'll figure that out later. But at least an island. Maybe a nice peninsula, but definitely an island.
Yep.
Or an inlet. Maybe they'll go to a nice
How
inlet.
about St. Helena?
St. Helena. Well,
And,
I'm thinking maybe an atoll.
I think we got to
go
keep
to an atoll.
the tax attorneys. The tax attorneys.
What do you call an atoll?
Until we fully deal with them to the island, I'm gonna be giving them lessons on etiquette, manners, and hygiene because they don't know how to do none of that stuff. They can't read or write. They write me letters in crayon.
Amen.
Thank you, folks.
The Isle of Dogs could be. That's a good movie. I like dogs, and I also like Japan stuff. It worked out well. Good meshing of Japan stuff and dogs.
That's right. Frank agrees. They got Lexus, Infinity.
We might send them to the Isle of
Open
Man.
this one.
Yeah.
That's where I think they should send them. We should send them to the Isle of Man, and they can all learn how to speak Manx, and that will probably rock their heads. So they probably want to drown themselves after that. I didn't say the last part, but I thought it, and that's all.
That's right. Verified fact, folks. Verified facts. Oh, nice glasses.
Those are some nice sunglasses. I think they're going to be standard issue for our Doom squads. Right. I mean, soldiers of fortune. I mean, victory heroes that we're going to take to the Congo, who are going to liberate the Congo.
That's right, folks. We only need after I take over. with Pete's assistance. We're only going to have one of everything, folks. One soft drink will be regular Pepsi. One pair of glasses, one watch. We don't need
One type of deep
20
dish
different.
pizza.
Yes, right. That's right. Pete's one.
Yep. It's only
gonna
going to be cheese and sausage. Don't like cheese, don't like sausage. Well, too bad for you.
Yep, that's right. I agree.
Yeah.
They'll learn to like it.
Well, when you have no choice, you got to learn.
That's right. Oh, those are
I
nice,
like that
Joe.
money sign. That's a good one. Those are good
Wow.
glasses. I should swap the pairs.
We'll definitely have to go with those.
Mm-hmm. As I said, our soldiers will be wearing them, and
Yep.
when those money signs come up, all the people who live in Congo will just bow to us. It's bound to
Yep.
happen. You know what I'm saying?
Like you said, if they have no choice, right, folks?
Exactly. Come on. You think they ever seen white people over there before? Come on. Okay, they had okay. They had Belgium. They had Leopold. They were. It doesn't matter. Who cares? I don't think they've ever seen the glasses before. That'll blow their freaking minds.
Absolutely. Those are great shades.
Those are really nice ones. I like them. They're very on brand for people who like to commit fraud.
That's right. We got a couple.
For us greedy capitalist pigs, they're good.
Yep.
Greed is good, for lack of a better word. The Gordon Gekko.
That's right.
Yeah, Wall Street, good movie. I take inspiration from that guy.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I got some orders in my restaurant, guys. I'm gonna have to hightail it out of here.
Yeah, I got business to take care of too.
I got Chris Christie and his family coming, and that guy eats a lot of pizzas. So he's gonna put a dent in my overhead. Put it that way. And yeah. And then the whole Epstein thing has just happened, and I'm trying to follow that, and that's not a good thing. So I got to be prepared.
I hope
I'm
we
not
can
saying I
meet
had any
again.
involvement, but
I hope we can meet.
I'm
And
just
don't forget
saying.
it. I don't want to forget to say, folks, head over to Matt Cox's channel, Inside True Crime. Buy the book Insanity. It's Insanity. It's about me, Mr. Frank Amodeo. He's written about a half dozen great books. That's the best book, though, folks. So start with that one, okay?
All right, I'll start it. I'll read it on Audible,
Okay.
and then I'll listen to it on paperback.
All right, cool. How about you, Joe? Any last words?
My last words are, I can't remember how to turn the glasses off.
Battery's gonna die soon. That's too bad.
That's one way to solve it.
Yeah, that'd be really sad when you don't see those money signs going up and down. That's a it's gonna be a sad day. Yeah. Yeah, no, Prince Andrew is not allowed in my restaurant. We have an agreement. He's not coming there. God bless Stephen Hawking's. He would not be if he reincarnates. He's not coming near my restaurant. And God damn it, David Copperfield. I am a magic fan. Okay, I believe in magic. That man ain't coming 57 feet from my restaurant. But Chris Christie, he's got 27 pizzas that he's trying to order, and I'm getting tired. I got to make all these freaking pizzas for him and his family. Jeez Louise. What a man. Jersey people.
Absolutely. Don't forget, folks, it's Insanity by Matt Cox.
Yep. All right, I got to flip the burner on and start making some deep dish and some food. So this was wonderful. We'll do it again. And maybe next time we'll plan on taking over another country. I think Nicaragua needs to be taken over. Just putting it out there. Just putting it out there.
Yeah, we got to try to meet up again. I know we all three of us have busy schedules.
Yep.
I'm having your hat.
Again, there's
Mark my
27 of
words.
them. If you can find all 27, I'll give you a free hat because it's not going to happen. I'll give you if you find 27 hats, I will give you 27 more hats because again, you're not going to break into the bank in the Cayman Islands to steal my 13 hats that are in safety deposit boxes all over that beautiful place.
If I get all your
So,
hats, will you eat your hat?
as long as there's some kind of Chicago food product in there, you bet your sweet tushy I will. Okay. And I'll even eat British food inside of this hat. I'll put some bangers and mash in there. I'll do some steak and kidney pie and some Yorkshire pudding, which apparently is bread and not actually pudding. I have a problem with that. And I'll eat a deep dish pizza. I'll put so much food in this head, I will eat the food and the head at the same time. That's what I'm guaranteed. And beans on toast.
Sounds amazing.
Beans on
I
toast.
think so.
Okay, now you're just torturing yourself. Okay.
Yes, that is what British food
I
is
love
to
beans on
normal
toast, actually.
people. That is what British food is to
I'm
normal
super
people.
basic.
Torture. All right, everybody.
All right. Thanks to all the
Crispy is
viewers
an
that
hour
watch.
away.
Have a good day, guys. Thanks for
Remember,
watching, everyone.
there's no emus in
Have a good
Mongolia.
one.
Peace out.